My name is Semaan Khawam. Right now I'm a painter and a writer. Tomorrow, I don't know. I was born in Syria. I live in Beirut since '88. I always leave and come back. I don't know why. I was like I tried the last time I was in London. I wanted to go and stay there, never come back. It didn't work out. It kind of didn't work out, or maybe I just like I just missed Beirut, so I came back. This is why I love this area. It's very rough. It's working class. For me, they're honest faces. And like on Sunday, all the workers, the foreign workers in Lebanon, they come to this area. It's a festival of ethnicities and identities. It happens all over the street. It's really beautiful. We don't have freedom here. It's bullshit. There's a lot of bars and there's a lot of nightlife, and some areas are more liberal than other places in Lebanon, especially when, like in the Hezbollah areas. You're not allowed to drink. You're not allowed to wear shorts. You're not allowed. Lot of stuff like that. I was born in '74, so not in one day I was not surrounded by pictures of death and war and social injustice in all my life. I've never painted Beirut. I always paint the interior of my place and my head. In the street, when I do graffiti, all my graffiti work is social and political. When it comes to the painting, I don't like to put blood and dead bodies and the painting. No, it's more about the human condition. And I was arrested for it. I was in court, okay, for doing this. I could have gone to prison if I lost the case, but I won the case against the Lebanese government. And because of my case, now graffiti, they cannot stop any graffiti artist. The soldier head, you have to obey, no question. Arms in our face every day, even in our dreams, and the boots of authority, the oppression. This is how we live in the Middle East. I never thought at any time I would become a painter. I guess it just happened after my accident. It was 1993. At that time, the Syrian occupied Lebanon. I turned 18 and I was supposed to go back to Syria and serve in the Syrian army. That I could never do. I could never serve in the Syrian army or any army. Anyhow, a week before, or I had to desert, run somewhere, and I couldn't because I only had the Syrian passport. So an opportunity presented itself. I was in a picnic, friends, and I saw a landmine field. So I walked into it and I blew my leg off. That really saved me from serving in the Syrian army and later in the Lebanese army. I had 5 operations here and 2 in Germany. I got fixed after 7 years. I could walk again. So during that time, I guess I kind of discovered this artistic side of me. This is how I start from something unclear, fuzzy, like scratches. Then I turn it into something clear and that has a meaning. This is how my brain functions, The images comes disturbed and unclear, and I try to readjust things. In my work, there's always my portrait, and my portrait sometimes can be your portrait and somebody else's portrait. But in this, I take the burden and I put it in here. And sometimes the bird is flying, that means freedom. Sometimes it's lurking on the head, that means trouble. That means, when birds migrate from one place to another, they never leave a country behind. They are always allowed to go back. They don't consider borders, and they don't. That's the opposite of what happened with me. I can't even go back to the place where I was born. If I'm reading a book and I like an image in it, I can turn it into a painting. Like the sculptures that I do right now it's upcycled. It's an upcycled materials from the garbage from my own garbage in the workshop and home. This is how I addressed the garbage crisis in Lebanon. I don't concentrate on one thing, you know. I don't work on a theme, if you want, in that sense. So today I work on a portrait, tomorrow I'll do an interior. Then it's always a problem for me when I have a solo, because usually they ask you to work on a theme, and I get bored after 2 paintings. When you paint, it's not to have other people's voice coming out from your mouth. It should be your own voice. And if you cannot do that, that means you're still a student in somebody else's school. It's easy to adopt other people's visions, or to be part of an art school, or like it's just not for me. I'm an outsider artist in the end,